What is up, guys? It's Noah from Hosel and Hack, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to make YouTube golf videos. Let's get right into it. Today we've got a 9-hole 2v2 alt shot coming your way. We're playing out here at Fossil Creek in Fort Worth, Texas, Good's favorite public golf course in Texas.
Because he's dialed.
Oh,
Guy's
man.
just built for the Masters. I mean, look at the fit. Come on. Just right up. Hey, can we go?
So the first thing you need to understand is that this is a massive time commitment depending on how quality you want your videos to be. Do you want good level of quality, or are you okay with just a lesser quality shot on maybe your iPhone, and you're just trying to capture some good memories with your buddies? If you are serious about this and you want to start maybe a big YouTube channel and do really well in this space, you need to go where the quality is, and that is with a lot of time commitment, some financial commitment, and just understanding that there's a lot of ins and outs to this that can make it a big challenge, but also a lot of fun and very rewarding if you commit to it the right way. In today's video, I want to break down the ways to make high quality YouTube golf content without completely breaking the bank. And then I'll also show you how we started out with Hosel and Hack shooting on our iPhones and what that quality kind of looks like compared to now using a much better setup. First things first, let's get into the equipment needed for making just basic YouTube golf videos that are the absolute necessities, in my opinion. Number one, like I said, you can go two directions with this. You can do this on an iPhone. I think the new iPhone cameras or Galaxy or whatever, phone cameras in general are really good these days. I will tag a link to one of our videos from the past that we shot and filmed on iPhone, and it's not bad. It's not the greatest thing now, considering that we have a much higher camera with better qualities. But looking back on it, it's better than I thought at the time. So I'd say you can do this and make pretty good videos with an iPhone and a basic microphone setup. So if you want to go that route, get yourself a high quality iPhone camera. Make sure it has good zooming abilities for ball tracking and things like that. And make sure you have a clip-on mic or a lav mic. The one I'm using right now is actually, it's called Anchorwork. These things are fantastic. It has a receiver that you just plug into the USB jack on your phone, and it picks up really high quality audio. All of the equipment I used when we used to film our videos on iPhones, I will tag that down in the description below so that if you want to go the iPhone route or the cheaper route, you have all the necessary equipment needed. So I'll tag all these below with my Amazon affiliate link. iPhone, microphone setup. Let's talk about camera stability, things like that. I think that a tripod is very effective, especially for using iPhone. You want a tripod, especially for tee shots, especially for tracers, which we'll get into that down the road here. It makes making tracers and all those things a lot easier in a basic route. You can always just set up the tripod around the greens, set it up behind your shots. It's quicker, it's stable, and so that's always a good option. So tripod, clip-on mic or lav mic, and a basic iPhone camera if you want to just get into this on a very basic surface level. I will tag the link to our video here so you can go check out the quality of our iPhone videos compared to what we do now with a much bigger setup. So now let's get into the new equipment that we use when we film our videos that create much higher quality videos, much more like that of a Good or a Bob Does Sports or a Brian Bros or something along those lines. The camera we use is the Panasonic HC 1500. It's actually a camcorder, and I want to say it was around $1,500. I will link that in the description below as well. I bought that on Amazon. I'll link that Amazon link below. It's a great camcorder. It's still fairly new. We are playing around with the settings and all that, getting it dialed in, and our future videos I feel like are going to be definitely moving in the right direction. It's a great camera. One thing that most people who are new to this or don't have any idea about cameras, myself included, will learn the hard way is that SD cards make a huge difference in the way that your footage turns out. So when you are filming, say like our camcorder, it can shoot at 4K 60 frames per second, which is pretty much the best quality you're going to get out of a camera. But if your SD card isn't running at V30, V60, or V90, it's not gonna pick up 4K quality very well. And I'll be honest, the V30 doesn't do great. Like I was shooting in 4K 60 frames. I had an SD card with V30 read speed on it. V30 does okay for 4K, but not great. And that's why you'll notice like some of our latest videos, even though it's filming in 4K 60, still have a little bit of a grainy look. Some of that also has to do with the weather outside, like our latest video that I just dropped, which I'll link here. The first few holes, it was real overcast and I was shooting in 4K, but it looked real grainy and I wasn't very happy about it. Come to find out, the SD card I'm using is not the best for filming in 4K 60. So SD cards, they can be a little pricey, but well worth the investment, especially if you just went and bought this really, somewhat expensive camera and you're expecting it to perform at a high level. You want to make sure you're doing the little things like getting the right SD cards that will also produce really clean, crisp 4K quality that you expect from the camera. So with your SD cards, we're going to start using the Lexar 128 gigabyte. I want to say it's the 1667X, and that is a V60. It'll produce just a much more clear, crisp quality picture, which you would expect from a camera shooting in 4K. So we've got the Panasonic camera, high quality camera with high zooming abilities if you want good ball tracking on shots that are far away. To me, this is something that I think is pretty necessary when I'm watching YouTube golf. Beyond tee shots, because tee shots you can always put a tracer on. Second shots you can put a tracer on too, but it's nice to have, if you only have one camera, it's nice to have a camera that can zoom in from about 150 yards out and see how the ball is landing on the green. I think that to me is just satisfying when people have that. So a high quality camera with good zoom, it's around $1,500. Like I said, SD cards are going to run you depending on how many you get. I always get a 2-pack. It's always good to have a little bit more storage, about 60 to 70 bucks. Tripod is still something that we use occasionally, but because we've got the camcorder and we've got a group of 4 guys playing, we're kind of passing the camera around sometimes. We don't use tripods a whole lot. That's the basic equipment for just getting started. I do think that you want a shotgun mic when you're running with these bigger cameras. I use the Rode shotgun mic, and I will tag that also in the link in the description. It's really good. It's directional, but it also can pick up some audio from the sides. It's got a windscreen on it that can cancel out wind noise. So our Rode shotgun mic is done pretty well. So we got the camera, we got tripod if you want it. We've got Rode shotgun mic or any shotgun mic, but I just think the Rode is the one that performs best. And then SD cards. That to me is the basic kind of just get your foot in the door equipment that you need on a filming standpoint. And that can be, I would say, roughly around $2,000 total if you want to do high quality with the right kind of camera and all that. Now, on the flip side, the editing side of things, and this is where the commitment that I was talking about earlier comes in, that if you want to do this and make high quality YouTube golf videos, editing is got to be at the forefront of your priorities. Back to the simple iPhone plan, like I said, when we first got started filming on iPhone, we would just use the Shot Tracer app through iPhone. Not great, but it gets the job done. I use Splice, which is an app for it's like CapCut. I just like the way it functioned a little better. And again, it got the job done, but it's not great. It's not very good. The titles on the screen and all the graphics and all that, just really mediocre compared to when I got actual editing software, which I use Final Cut Pro for our videos. The quality and how quickly you can edit, the workflow, way better. So there's free software for editing. I know DaVinci Resolve is a good one that a lot of people use, but like I said, if you're trying to get really invested and you want to make high quality videos, I would probably go with Final Cut Pro or Premiere Pro. Premiere is just a beast to tackle that I didn't really feel like learning. Now, because of that, I cannot use Adobe After Effects to make tracers. I use Shot Tracer Pro Mac version or the PC version for desktop or laptop. I've made a full video on how to make really quality shot tracers just like that you would see on Good Good or Brian Bros without needing to use Adobe Premiere, and I will link that video right here. Software side of things, editing side of things, I think you need an editing software. Like I said, DaVinci Resolve is a good free option, but Final Cut Pro is great, Premiere Pro is great. Other than those, I don't really know. You need to learn how to make shot tracers. In my opinion, you cannot have high quality YouTube golf videos without shot tracers and ball tracking. I think that is one of the absolute necessities. that you will quickly lose viewership or audience retention on if people don't know where the ball is going. Gotta have it, absolute must. The Shot Tracer app, free on mobile, but when you get the Mac version or the PC version, it's $90 a year. I'll take you through like the basic steps of how I make a video from start to finish. First thing I do, load all the footage in, and the first step is cut and clip. So I'll cut all the fat, trim it off, all the extra footage that isn't needed, get rid of it, and I will cut and place the video in order first. And then usually after that, I'll go and make shot tracers in the Shot Tracer app. I'll save all those videos. I'll bring them back into Final Cut Pro, and I will overlay them with the original shot that doesn't have a tracer, match the audio waves, cut, clip, replace, and now where the original shot was, now it's the same exact video but with the tracer on it. And then for graphics, and I think that graphics play a huge role in creating high quality content for YouTube golf. You want to have score graphics, you want to have um, graphics during your drone flyovers, all these things. And so we use Canva for that. Canva is awesome. Never had any issues with it. That's the next step. Once I get done making the tracers and placing them in the video, I'll head over to Canva, make some simple score graphics. We typically go with top right corner graphic for tee shots to show what hole, what's the score, who's hitting, what shot they're on. Sometimes if I'm feeling fancy, I'll put in what club they're about to use or hit with. Post score graphic for every hole. So like after the hole's done, we'll have like a scorecard slide up showing the score of the entire round. A lot of the times if it is a stroke play match, I'll do a scorecard almost that looks like a scorecard that you would have in your golf cart, with those graphics of what hole, what did each player, like we're putting the number in the box is basically the idea, and then their final score with a par 36 or whatever. And I'll have every hole, and maybe I'll make a separate video on how I make those graphics, but it's really simple in Canva. And then beyond that, one other kind of graphic that we do use is match play graphics. I will typically take a headshot of all the players and then the teams, and that'll slide up after every hole and show, through one, and I'll have two guys on this side, two guys on this side with their score just over them. So that's all the graphics. Canva's really great for that. Highly recommend Canva for anything in graphic design. So after I make the graphics, I go import all the graphics in from Canva, and then during the Final Cut editing process, it's pretty simple. You just kind of overlay it, and then there's some fancy little things to do to scale it and put it, in the top right corner. Really basic. You just turn the scale down, meaning the full size, because when you first load it in, it'll be like this big on the screen. So you want to scale it down and then move it up to the top right corner, and then save that preset. Once you do that, every time you go and you place the graphic, you could drag the preset that you saved and it'll automatically place every other graphic in that corner. But something I didn't learn until about 6 months in, and that saved me a lot of time in the editing process. So editing necessities for making your YouTube golf video look really good, like that of a Brian Bros or a Good. I think that you have to have good graphics. I think you have to make solid tracers. And I think that from a camera standpoint, you need a camera that can shoot in 4K quality and has good ball tracking and zooming abilities. Beyond that, drone shots. I think that this is not something that is completely necessary. If you've seen enough good videos, you see that sometimes they just use Google Earth to show what the hole looks like. But that's also a subscription I'm pretty sure that you have to pay for. I don't know. Don't quote me on it. But I do have a drone. I think the drone shots are a really nice touch. And I think that if you want to get into the game with the big YouTube golfers, drone shots are kind of one of those things you're going to want to have. It just is a nice way to show what the hole looks like. It's a nice way to show the entire course in general. It's really great for when you're making intros to have some nice drone shots thrown in there. I use the DJI Mini 3 Pro. Again, I'll tag that in the link below. It's about $500. And then again, you have to have a micro SD for that. So more SD cards, but again, same rules apply for the SD card. The micro SD as would for a regular SD. You want, if you want that drone shot to come out in a clean, smooth 4K, you need V60 or above on that micro SD. So let's summarize. All the equipment you need to make YouTube golf videos: camera, tripod, shotgun mic or clip-on lavalier mics, editing software, Final Cut Pro, Adobe Premiere Pro, Shot Tracer software. We use Shot Tracer Pro. If you're using Premiere Pro as your editing software, you can just use Adobe After Effects. Drone. And I think that's it. I think that's really all we use to produce these, what I like to think are pretty high quality YouTube golf videos. And again, man, like this is it's starting to become such a saturated thing, YouTube golf. I think that's awesome. I think the game is growing tremendously. But if you're new and getting into YouTube golf, like to get your foot in the door, you have to understand the standard that is set. And obviously the standard that Good and Brian Bros and all these guys have set is very high. Their editors are incredible. And so to get in on any level close to theirs, you want to do the little things right. You want to have drone shots. You want to have good graphics because those are the things that the consumer is going to be looking for because they're used to getting great videos from these other guys who've been doing it longer than we have. And so if you want to do this and you want to eventually get monetized and have like a YouTube golf career in a sense, you need to make the investment. Our all-in investment amount with all the equipment was probably around $3,000 to $3,500. And we could have done it cheaper. We could have done it more expensive, but it's very doable for that price. And the good thing is once you have the equipment, there's really, besides buying more SD cards, like there's really nothing else you need. So that is all the equipment you need. That is a little bit of the editing process. Like I said, I've made other videos for how to make tracers and all that stuff. But just the basic necessities for getting into YouTube golf. Uh, that's it. And so if you have any questions or any concerns, please leave a comment. If you haven't yet and you're new to the channel, go check out some of our videos and kind of see what I'm talking about. We got to go and travel a ton this year and play some really awesome courses. We went to Branson and played Paynes Valley and Ozark Nationals. We got to go to Utah and play Sand Hollow and Wolf Creek and Black Desert, which, oh my gosh, that course is incredible. That's definitely a place I was glad I had a drone at. And so go watch these videos. You'll see what I'm talking about as far as just graphics and drone shots and how it all comes together and makes a nice quality product. And by no means are we like perfect in any way. I still have so much to learn from an editing standpoint. We still have a lot of getting better with the camera, but as far as just the basic necessities to get started, everything I laid out should pretty much do it. If you have any questions, leave a comment. Let me know. I would love to make more videos about just kind of the behind the scenes that goes into how we do everything here at Hosel and Hack. And like I said, we're still pretty new. So if you like our stuff, please drop us a sub. Other than that, I'm Noah from Hosel and Hack. Appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Peace.